Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my boyfriend's wedding? Throwaway account because my boyfriend's sisters follow my main. So my boyfriend 26 male and I 23 female have been dating for the past 5 years and we were in a very serious relationship. We also belong from very different religious groups. He is Hindu and I'm Catholic. I should mention that we are also from a very family-oriented, conservative country and marriage is not just a union of individuals, it's a union of families as well. He had taken me to meet his parents about a year ago. They said they will never let him marry me as I used to eat beef, and eating beef is a big no-no in Hinduism. His sisters, however, like me a lot. Both of us were heartbroken over it, but we realized that there really was no fighting it as separating from his family was out of question. My only family, my dad is totally fine with me marrying him. The problem is his family. Now, his parents have found a nice Hindu girl for him to marry, and the wedding is in June this year. We are still together because we want to savor whatever little time we have with each other. This situation is very unfair, but I don't blame him. We will break up before the wedding. So, his sisters have sent me invitations to the wedding and asked me to respond. They included that me being there would give my boyfriend some support as he is struggling a lot. I refused because it would be too painful for me to see him get married to someone else. I called him and asked if he could have seen me get married to someone else. He said he would, if it made me feel better. He also said that it was my choice if I want to attend or not. Now I'm thinking how alone he would feel at the wedding. I feel like a selfish person. Am I the a-hole for refusing to see my boyfriend get married to someone else? A lot of people answering this, including me, are not going to be from India and will be from cultures that don't have arranged marriages or family standing like yours, so Reddit's opinions on this are going to be skewed. But I'm glad to see they are respectful and want the best for you. I'm American but have a traditional family that was very strict about who I should marry, so I understand your plight a bit. My answer is that it's really reasonable for you not to go to the wedding, not the a-hole. It is going to be heart-wrenching for you to see your loved one be married off. You have the right to wish him and his family the best in a card or gift, if it's custom, and then plan something with your family that day so you're distracted and kind to yourself. Anyone who would tell you that you're not being respectful, like his sisters, are not acknowledging how much you love him and how much this hurts you. Protect your heart and don't go. You should not try to suck up your very real feelings and put on a show as if you approve. It is not rude to not go. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. From my viewpoint it's so old-fashioned and so cruel. He's in a really difficult position. It's very easy to sit in my American chair and point at him and say he's a jerk for not upending his entire life and culture and family for you, which, to be honest, I did think a little bit, but that's a Disney fairytale thought to me, not an adult real world thought. It's one thing to say it, but it's a completely different thing to actually do that and live with the consequences. I feel awful for you. This entire thing is heart-wrenching. My grandmother, German, fell in love with a man when she was younger, teens, and wanted to marry him so much, but he was Catholic and she was Lutheran and it simply wasn't allowed. She was heartbroken, but a few years later met my grandfather and fell in love, and they were married 58 years. Definitely pull back and take care of your heart. This is a terrible situation. Don't go to the wedding and do something for yourself that day. Big hugs from me. Op. As someone with an understanding of how intense family pressure can be, I definitely agree he's not a horrible person for choosing to acknowledge his family's wishes. But he is a bad person for getting so deeply involved with you when he always knew it wasn't an option. He's basically chosen to lead you on for ages. Why was he ever starting intense romantic relationships in the first place if he knew he'd pick his family's desires over his own love life? I've been in a relationship with a deadline before, and I can confidently say that trying to be with him until the wedding will just make it harder. It's better to end it now instead of suffering, and you definitely shouldn't be going to his wedding. At some point you have to start thinking about what's fair to your own mental health instead of worrying about how he'll feel, having to deal with the consequences of his own decision. He chose to start another relationship knowing he'd always go with an arranged marriage instead. Now it's time for him to focus on his marriage. I know you say his parents took it away, but girl, the decision to honor his parents' arrangement for him was his decision. And it's not fair for you go to such lengths to be there for him when he ultimately didn't show up for you when it mattered most, standing up to his family and choosing you. And I understand that even he isn't happy about this, but for him to have made this decision that impacts the both of you and then want you to be there for him while he executes this decision is beyond selfish. You owe it to yourself to do what will help you heal from this heartbreak, and that means not going to his wedding. You do not have to incur more pain in order to support him through the thing that is causing the pain in the first place. I hope you find healing and happiness in somebody else someday who chooses you over and over again in life. You deserve to be happy and to only do things that contribute to your healing and, eventually, happiness. Not the a-hole. Info. Is this stuff really common? In what universe can someone go to a wedding for their so, in which they are not the bride or groom have said so? Has your boyfriend resisted this? Why the hell would the sisters invite you to this farce? He has resisted this. He even went on a hunger strike, but his parents just wouldn't budge. Indian society is extremely conservative when it comes to matters like this. Can't he just move out and live his own life? Sure, he can. But it would mean isolation from his sisters, from his parents, even his family friends. It would crush him. And, I'm sorry but, if my parents were forcing me to marry someone I wouldn't care about them cutting me off. Walk away from him, because he obviously isn't an adult. Not the a-hole. I have a rule. If you're dating someone, don't go to his or her wedding unless you're also going on the honeymoon. Your boyfriend has made his choice. He's not dying. He's breaking up with you. You staying in this relationship is the worst thing you can do because it's going to end. You need to accept that and move on and find someone who is going to put you above all others, except children. That's not him. As to supporting you, if he wanted that he should be marrying you, he isn't, so he needs to find someone else to fill that need. Please put yourself first. And if not yourself, how about his future wife? She's not at fault here. Would you like to be forced to marry someone and have his ex at the wedding? That's not a good way for the marriage to begin. And imagine how her half of the family might treat you at this wedding. Indian from India here, please protect yourself. Why are you allowing yourself to get sucked into this toxic mess? Your boyfriend cannot stay with you and cannot choose you over his family, fair enough. But do you have to choose this over your own mental health and well-being? What part of your life went so terribly wrong that you cannot protect yourself from this very real attack on your feelings and worth? I really am not saying this to be mean, but you are letting yourself down so much here that I feel someone needs to say it, just so you look after yourself better. The day your boyfriend agrees to marry someone else on religious grounds or due to parental and societal pressures is the very day you break contact and start your healing journey. Use this time between now and the wedding to get over him, get better, and be happy again. What do you think is going to happen on his wedding day? That you both will sit equally heartbroken? No, he will be starting a new life with a new woman, while you will be sat around heartbroken. You two are not in this together. You really are not. He is planning a future with his new wife, while you are going to be the girl who got dumped by the man she loved because she is from a different religion to him. I'm only saying these things so harshly because you seem to think your boyfriend is doing nothing wrong and have far too much empathy for him. Not the a-hole. Please look after yourself. Edit. Info. My country is India. Parents are put on a pedestal. If he leaves his family it would crush him both emotionally and socially. It isn't my boyfriend that is asking me to go, it's his sisters. My boyfriend says it's my choice whether to come or not, but he has also said that it would make him feel better. He didn't say it to guilt me or anything, but I feel guilty anyway. Stop reminding me that he's not my boyfriend anymore. I know he isn't. Let me just get used to the fact and let me call him that at least before we are broken up. The Hindi girl and him will have a period of 2 months to get to know each other. Then only will they be announced as fiancés. We are going to break up before that period, so technically he is still my boyfriend. Please stop assuming me as delusional. The fact that we are prolonging our relationship is mutual. It's not cheating because he hasn't met her yet and it isn't decided in concrete that he is going to marry her. We are just talking on the phone every night and trying to get some closure from each other. We will end this as well before he meets her. We will be completely no contact a few days before he meets her. Complete breakup. I'm also looking for a job outside the country and I may move soon. For the last freaking time, I'm not going to make him cheat. That's a horrible, disgusting thing that people are trying to imply. They're trying to portray both me and him as immoral people who can't keep it in our pants when we are going through this hell. I'm not asking you to keep your opinions to yourself. I just want you to read this post properly and try to see that we have no intentions of seeing each other ever again. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. See you all later.